Hey everyone, welcome back for another segment of Coffee with Mare. And we're sitting on my balcony today. So these days, I'll be honest, Instagram is kind of my happy place. Instagram and YouTube, let's say. Facebook for a while was my main concentration with growing out an audience, but it just seems like Instagram's a happier place to be right now. So, if you're wondering why most of my content, or if I'm putting new content more so on Instagram, then just come and join me over there if you have a minute or two to spare and have a look at the stuff that I've been posting. But yeah, getting back to today's inspiration, let's talk about being the light in the world. I was flipping through and I saw one of my favorite makeup artists. His name's Goss, and he is absolutely adorable and delicious in every possible way because he really talks about being a good person and that, he talks a lot about his life. And today he posted a picture and it was just beautiful. I suggest you go and look it up. And he kind of had his face sort of half in the sunlight, half in the shadows, and he said, I'm looking for my light. So I responded to that. I said, Wayne, you are the light. That's where I think we tend to forget that sometimes when we're looking for something external to uplift us, forgetting that we actually have a lot of that capacity within ourselves. And it's not by suddenly flipping a switch and just turning on, the happy channel. It's not like that. I've believed in servant leadership for a long time, and anyone who's known me for at least a few years will have heard me talk about leadership at least once, because it's very important. And leadership does not equal title, it does not equal position, it doesn't equal your bank account. Leadership is something that lives inside of you. And when I'm feeling really down, or if I'm having a tough day and I'm having a hard time finding my own light, I start reaching out to people. And I'm not reaching out to people because I need to bitch or vent about stuff. I have my very select group of close. My two besties are pretty much the only ones who hear those conversations, and my sister and sometimes my mom. But my besties and I, we've created a safe space between ourselves where if we really, really have to vent, that we know that, especially if you look at an organization or a business, the shit's got to flow up. There's really no other way to say it. It's not like you want to be spreading that stuff to the people who look to you for guidance. Every once in a while, frustration, and if there's something in the world that's making you angry and you really feel like it's time for you to stand on your soapbox and do something about it, I say go for it. That's not the same as venting and being in a negative place and trying to drag people down with you. So back to the you are the light comment, is that when you start reaching out to people and asking how they are, what can I do for you? Is there anything I can do for you? How can I serve you today? That very, very quickly resets you and puts you in a much different place than when you're wallowing in your own misery. And I've been there. We're human. It's not like anyone's really immune to this, just as nobody is 100% good, 100% bad. And quite frankly, I really don't like associating good or bad with people. I really believe that the words you put out into the world help to shape your perception as well as your reality and others. And it's like with kids, my daughter, when she was little, I was very careful not to say, you've been a bad girl. And she and we've had this conversation now that she's 12. And I've said, honey, have you noticed that mommy never told you that you were a bad girl? And she says, yeah. She says, yeah, I was naughty. And I said, exactly, you were naughty. Kids are naughty. And this is a piece of wisdom that was imparted to me many moons ago by someone who I treasured and loved very, very much. And it stuck with me. And when I had my own child, I decided that, you know what, it's true. Children are not good or bad. They can be naughty, but they're children. So if we're getting angry at them for displaying their true nature as small, tiny humans that are learning to be in the world, and we start associating their behavior with something bad, that filters your perception of that person, or in this particular hypothetical, that child. So if you've had this perception about yourself that, oh my God, I'm not a good person, or I am a bad person, if you've gone to that place, really want you to challenge that. I want you to challenge those beliefs. They don't serve you. They don't serve your community. They don't serve anybody else, because you're not tapping into your true potential. Back to Wayne. He is a very courageous person who has shared a lot of his personal challenges on social media, and people have not always been kind. But Wayne, if you're watching this right now, you need to keep doing what you're doing. You need to keep sharing your gifts and your ideas and just your personality, because you are that light. You have created a light in my world. And on some of my darkest days where I needed something to just cheer me up, I would go and watch Wayne's makeup channel on YouTube. And it would just give me such joy to see someone creating beauty from a blank canvas. Find your way to create beauty from a blank canvas. Put yourself in someone else's world and ask to serve. And beware if you have narcissists in your midst, which certainly everybody has at least one or has known one. Those are not the people that are going to really appreciate the fact that you are wanting to improve the world. They are going to see an ego stroke. So be careful of who it is that you're trusting to serve, because some people will take advantage of that. So I don't like to think the worst of people. I choose to see the best in a lot of people. And that has not always been the best choice for me, but I learned from that. And I also learned that the people who are not going to honor who I am in this world have no place in mine. So be the light, people. Find that little light inside of you and share it with the world, even in the smallest way possible. Share a positive post. Call someone you haven't spoken to for a while and just listen. Just listen to where they are and what they have to say. And sometimes that can be the greatest gift you can give to someone, because most people are talking and waiting to talk. And it takes a lot of time to break that habit, and it's not possible to do it all the time. I do really believe that it's an important skill to have, to be present with others and to zip your lips and open both of your ears. That's why you've got two of these and one of these. So be with someone else today. And it doesn't mean physically. That's a phone call, it's a text, it's writing a letter to someone that you care about and telling them that you care. That might just be what they need to hear today. But I always recommend, number one, the phone, if you can do it. Number two, a text. If you can't, either you don't have the energy to talk on the phone, or you just really feel like you're going to lose it if you are talking to someone in person, You might not be at the place where you're ready to be vulnerable, and that's okay. I think that vulnerability is something that we all have to relearn because this world has made people tough. I really want you to consider that. You know, how has the world made you tough? How have you closed yourself off from truly being with people and being present with those that you love and dropping your perception of who they are as an individual? Sorry, my lips are really dry today. Keep chewing on my lips. But really, really think about that so that you can start undoing some of those habits. Most of them are habits. It's not anything that can't be reversed or adapted to your current living situation. Another good observation is if you notice that there is a lack of kindness in your world, then maybe you need to be the person who starts a chain of kindness. And think of a person who when you hear their name, that your heart melts, whether that's a friend or it's somebody's new baby, or you just met someone's grandma for the first time. You may not be in contact with your grandma, but the friend that introduced you sure is. And you know what you can say to them? You can start the chain right there and say, I feel so honored to have met your so-and-so, grandparent, uncle, father, mother, brother, whoever it was that put a light in your world. Say, I feel so honored, and they have brought such joy in only a few moments. It's not hard to do. It'll take you maybe 5 minutes to compose and send a message. But that's where it begins. It's with those tiny, tiny little acts that you can start influencing your sphere in a positive way. So I'm going to leave you with that today. And I really am so grateful. We have just crossed the 50 subscriber threshold, and I have so much gratitude for each and every one of you, because you have been that little light in my world. And I really hope to do the same for you. So drop me a line in the comments, say hello, tell me what you were drinking this morning. I'm having my lovely double cappuccino with heavy whipped cream, and it's just given me life. And I'm sitting out here today because I do get a tiny, tiny bit of morning sun on my balcony. I just faced the wrong way. So after seeing Wayne with his beautiful countenance in the sunlight, I thought maybe I should do the same. And now I'm just trying to share a little bit of that sunshine with you. So for today, this is SickMom, checking out.